What's up, brothers and sisters? It's your brother G World 7_D. Um, do this quick little video, real quick. I'm gonna try to do. In fact, I'm gonna do one either later on today, tomorrow, but it should be today. An historical video. I showed you a little bit of video the other day, or in the book, The Astrological Foundation of the Christ Myth, by Malik Jabba. A book came out around 1995, where he's talking about how the origin of the story, or basically a lot of those stories come from a stellar mythological background, or a stellar star alignment belief system. A lot of the ancient priests and priestesses took that star alignment mythology and then placed it into what we now know as like humanly formed individuals who supposedly walked this earth. A lot of your monumental structures were aligned with star alignment, and our ancient ancestors were great stargazers. Like I showed you before with Copan and Palenque. On top of those doggone pyramids, you'll see like structures, little houses or temples or something, where you had an opening where they used to stargaze from the top of it, and they used to chart the skies. Our ancestors have been done that. See, our ancestors weren't simple-minded people. The only ignorance is a lot of us today who just can't fathom that, or don't want to see that. I said over and over again how these Negroes go to these schools, man, and they're very miseducated. They're basically heavily indoctrinated and brainwashed on what is being taught to them. And a lot of them carry this badge of ignorance because they had some title, had some job, or they got a degree at one of these racist-ass universities, or these Sambo Negro universities. So they boast and brag and stick out their chest as if they're better, when actually they're just showing how ignorant they are and how really misinformed and miseducated they are. This is why I'm giving you sources. I'm going to give you some of my books that I have dealing with stargazers and mythology. And you'll see how that lot of stuff parallels into the mythological beliefs of a lot of these religions. But I'm not telling people what to believe in. Buses and cars going by. I'm not telling you what to believe in, but I'm just letting you know, just giving you some stuff, some good sources to read. This won't be recommended to you by no teacher or nothing, because them fools not gonna recommend you anything. They just gonna give you a stupid lesson plan to give you a book that's been basically heavily everything been heavily doctored, watered down, and then given to you and claim that's higher education. But it's not. All right? It's not. You're being fooled. You always being fooled dealing with the regular educational system. You're not being properly taught anything. So I'm letting you know that how we all being hustled. We all have been hustled by the so-called educational system that we have in this country, or globally, really. And I always often tell you, do not trust what white folks tell you. I get a lot of these sources with these white folks on there. A lot of them know the truth. A lot of them don't know nothing. I had to put it together, even more myself. But these people will never tell you the truth because it does not work in their favor. And why should they? So they're always going to tell you something. They're only going to give you 10% of the truth. Even if they give you more of a 70% of the truth, they always going to throw a lie up in there and try to write themselves in something they had nothing to do with. There were some white folks there that gave the Negro the helping hand. When you look at those Negroes over at Palenque, all right, I've seen these Negroes who get on YouTube claiming that the people of Palenque are descendants of African slaves. I just sit there and laugh, man. I already sit there and laugh. You got these Negroes who want to Africanize every single so-called black person, heavily melanated person that they see. And that's really sick. They want to Africanize everything, not giving the credit to the people of their local community or what the intuition that the brothers and sisters had in their region and how they built within their region. What they did in their region. But you want to Africanize every damn thing, which is sad and it's really disgusting. But that's typical when you hear a lot of these little goofy ass Pan-Africans, man, who really cannot go beyond their box. They just study certain individuals, talk that African stuff, but yet now they go around blasting Van Sertima and dog him out. You know, I have some disagreements with Van Sertima. Don't get me wrong, but I think he was coming there, because if you read his books from 1977 all the way throughout the 90s, he was developing, he was coming more knowledgeable on the subject matter. All right, and he was a foreign-born brother from Guyana, if I'm correct. You hear when he used to speak that little accent, he talk like this. But you know, he was basically growing. People keep talking about they came before Columbus, but I mentioned before, he had written 3 other books about that subject matter after that. Plus, he had the Journals of African, I forget the Journals of African Publications, so I forget the name of that damn thing. But he had that back in the 80s. So, and then, you know, usually in his books, he had like a team of writers. So one of the books I showed you, he had a brother out, I think LeGrand Clegg, who wrote an article. I mean, he wrote many articles or many pieces in Van Sertima's stuff. So you'll find it in all his books. But we're going to have to realize that these so-called pale people are not your friends, period. I'm going to tell you, as a group, as it applies to every single one of them, no, but as a collective, as a group, I do not trust white folks or these other non-melanated people. And unfortunately, many of these foreign blacks I do not trust, because they come over here with a mindset of white people or the racist pig that's over here, and they bring their self-hatred and their worshiping of their mythological sky daddies. So this is the problem that we're going to have to deal with and come to grips with, that these Negroes are treacherous and trifling, and they don't care about no one but their only greedy self, and they're nothing but opportunists. So brothers and sisters, you got to look out for yourself here first. This is why I get on Jabari goofy ass, because Jabari is not of our lineage, and he keep pushing a negative, false narrative, telling us who we are. He has no business speaking of anything. None of them clowns, a lot of them clowns in New York had no business. That Rob Bourne, them clowns are not of our lineage, man. They had no business speaking on our issues. Right there, when they sit there and tell you who you are, and they're not of your lineage, you just need to shut that down. Hey, what's your background? You're not of my lineage, shut up. And we're gonna have to do that, because I'm start going in more on these little fake ass Negro. I don't use the term tellers so much, man, but I'm gonna use it because I'm tired of these Negroes interfering in our history and how we're teaching our history, and continuing with a false narrative and saying that majority of our people came over with slave ships and that we didn't have the intellectual fortitude to sail around the world. Goofy ass bastards. But I'm telling you right now, man, I'm gonna go into these bastards, man, because I'm tired of them. They're giving misinformation. They're not of our lineage. They need to shut the hell up. And I'm gonna do a video later on today. All right. I'm gonna do a video later on today on our history, a formulation of what's called of our history, and to present it. But I'm gonna let you know, brothers and sisters, you gotta wake up and see that there are people out here who are paid agent provocateurs who are here to basically cause confusion and to keep us in a negative path, because they're getting paid to do so. These Negroes are getting paid to do so, when they ignore the obvious and just want to continue to present you false information. So brothers and sisters, I'm letting you know this. I want you to wake up, understand your true history, understand what you're really about, understand the fact that you have enemies out here who look like you, and they want to do everything they can to destroy you. Anyone who's telling you right now, who's still telling you that you are descendant of African slaves, is a damn enemy. I said that in my other videos. Anyone who's still telling you that majority of our people came over in slave ships is a goddamn lie and an enemy to your people. Anyone who's telling you that you are, quote, African American and that you're ashamed to be African because you don't want to call yourself no damn African, is an enemy to your people. Because they don't know your history, they haven't studied your history, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. We are a mixture of very different Negro groups that was already here. Black people came from Europe. We had some in Africa. All right, you had some in Africa, and then you had some. You did have some Asiatic blacks who came over here too. So we had very different black groups that came over here. All right, brothers and sisters, ladies and brothers, you go _D, man. Peace and about, and just want to give you that quick video. All right, peace.